Okay, so you know how people always say that the internet is like an iceberg?
Yeah.
What we see every day is just the tip.
Right.
Well, today we're going deep beneath the surface
Oh, yeah.
into the dark web to a place that's even more mysterious.
Okay.
We're diving into the legend of red rooms.
Red rooms. Yeah, just the name itself. I know, it just gives you chills.
Yeah.
These are the supposedly live-streamed torture and violence sites, like pay-per-view horror shows
Right.
hosted on the dark web.
Yeah, and it's like something straight out of a nightmare,
Oh, yeah.
which I think is why it's so fascinating,
Totally.
but also terrifying.
Yeah, it's got that, like,
Yeah.
that morbid curiosity factor, for sure.
So is there actually any truth to it, though?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? What's
Yeah.
real and what's just a myth?
Right. What's the reality versus all the hype and the legend of it?
Exactly.
And I think what's even more interesting is like, what does this obsession with red rooms tell us about ourselves
Yeah.
as a culture or as, as humans?
About humanity.
Yeah.
Well, I think to understand the whole red room thing, you got to go back to like the early days of the internet.
Okay.
Like the really shadowy corners of internet forums,
Okay.
like Reddit and 4chan.
Right.
Imagine, you're just browsing
Uh-huh.
and you come across these like really unsettling visuals and these cryptic messages written in like code.
Right.
It's like the perfect recipe for rumors and fear,
It's like an echo chamber, right?
Exactly.
It's like these forums can be these echo chambers where like the smallest whisper turns into this like deafening roar.
It just amplifies everything.
Yeah.
And twists it and makes it like 10 times more scary.
Right. But setting aside all the, the spooky mystique of these forums and stuff,
Yeah.
given all the technical challenges,
Uh-huh.
how likely is it that these red rooms could even actually exist?
That's a great point.
Like, wouldn't streaming something like that require an insane amount of bandwidth?
Oh, absolutely.
And then there's the risk of actually getting caught.
Huge risk.
I mean, that must be enormous, right?
It would be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you're right about the bandwidth.
Yeah.
To stream that kind of high-quality video to a bunch of people.
Especially on the dark web.
Yeah, especially on the dark web.
Where you're using all this onion routing and stuff to stay anonymous.
Exactly. And that just slows everything down.
Right.
And then on top of that, you got law enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
They are constantly patrolling the dark web,
Right.
looking for this kind of stuff.
And, I mean, the penalties, if you get caught,
Oh.
I can't even imagine.
Severe is an understatement.
Yeah.
You do not want to get caught doing that.
Okay, but even if creating an actual red room is technically super challenging, wouldn't the potential for just massive profits be a really strong incentive for some criminals to try and overcome those hurdles?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I mean, think about it.
Money talks.
Yeah.
And there are people out there who will do anything for it. Right, so...
It's a valid point, for sure. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Even if this whole red room thing is mostly a myth, we can't just ignore the very real horrors that do happen online.
Right.
I mean, take the Peter Scully case, for example.
Oh, God, that case was just...
horrific.
Absolutely horrific.
This guy was live streaming abuse of children.
It's just sickening.
It's a chilling reminder that this stuff is actually happening.
It's a real thing.
Even if red rooms aren't.
Right, so that leads us to like a bigger question then.
Okay.
Why are we even so fascinated with this whole idea of red rooms in the first place?
Yeah, why are we drawn to this darkness?
Yeah, what is it about this concept that just like grips our imaginations so strongly?
It's a really complex question.
Uh-huh.
I think part of it is our natural fear of the unknown.
Right.
Like, we're scared of what we don't understand.
Especially when it comes to like the dark potential of human nature.
Exactly. Like, what are people really capable of?
Yeah.
Especially when they think they can get away with it.
Right, and the internet kind of gives people that anonymity.
Yeah, it's like a mask.
Right, it's like this veil of anonymity.
You can be anyone you want online.
Yeah, and you can do anything you want.
And that's what makes it so scary.
Right.
So the red room myth, it really plays on those fears.
Yeah.
It taps into our anxieties about technology.
Anonymity.
Anonymity, and that blurring line between what's virtual and what's real.
It's like that feeling you get sometimes when you're, browsing online late at night.
Oh, yeah.
And you just get this like sense of unease.
Like something's watching you.
Yeah, like something sinister could be lurking just beyond the screen.
Right there on the other side.
Have you ever felt that?
Oh, of course.
I think we all have.
I think most people who spend any amount of time online have felt that at some point.
Yeah. And it's interesting because the Red Room legend,
Yeah.
even if it's not real, it forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Like, what are we capable of when we're hidden behind that mask of anonymity?
Are we drawn to this darkness out of just, like, morbid curiosity?
Yeah.
Or is it something deeper?
Like what?
Like, is it a reflection of our own anxieties about the world?
Right, because it's kind of become this, like, collective moral panic.
Totally.
Like this idea of red rooms, whether they're real or not.
Yeah.
It's this powerful symbol, this warning about the potential for evil.
It's a reminder that the darkness is there.
Yeah.
Lurking beneath the surface.
Within us all.
In all of us.
So what can we take away from all of this?
Well, I think the main takeaway is that red rooms might be a myth. But the very idea of them, it makes us think about the dark potential of the internet.
And of ourselves.
And of ourselves.
There's this really unsettling truth that we have to confront.
Exactly. So while red rooms themselves might not exist, the dark web is a real place.
Yeah.
And there are real horrors happening there.
Every day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
And we can't afford to be naive about that.
So what you're saying...
You know what I'm saying is be careful out there.
Right.
The anonymity that can be so liberating can also be a weapon.
In the wrong hands.
In the wrong hands. And that's something worth thinking about.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a fascinating and kind of terrifying dive into the dark web.
I know.
But
important.
But important, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
See ya.